Hey, what's going on, guys? Hope everybody is doing well. Doing another one of these videos where I'm driving, trying to take advantage of time. Again, trying to get a lot of stuff done on the homestead. Definitely feeling a sense of urgency to complete projects. And in doing so, I just try to take advantage of my drive. And like I said last time I did one of these, you'd probably rather look at some beautiful countryside rather than my mug. So here we go. I was reading some articles last night about this story or stories about an impending gas shortage, fuel shortage, or so some people say we're going to be completely out in July, which is not far away. And the main article that I read, and I will put it in the description below, which was released somewhere around May 8th, a little while back. The guy on his Substack has not changed his story. He seems to be doubling down on it. And it's always interested me because we've had numerous people over the years that have made predictions like this. An asteroid's going to crash into the planet. There's going to be some, world war. I mean, there's been numerous predictions with a date associated. And of course, every single time, that date has come and gone, and nothing's happened. And when you read through some of these articles, which they're providing data, this is one of the differences with this, is they're providing data. And by the way, let me go ahead and say up front, I do not believe that we're going to run out of fuel around July 3rd. I find it difficult to believe that all of the powers that be, from private to public, that they would not do something to prevent that from happening. I think it's in their best interest. And I know there's theories out there as to why it would be in their best interest, but regardless, that's my opinion. But that doesn't mean that we won't run into shortages. And so what I was reading these articles. There's more than one person. There's quite a few people out there that are proclaiming that we're coming up to severe gas shortages, prices that are going to continue to climb. I'm going by a gas station right now, $4.45 a gallon for the cheapest. And that's actually down a little bit compared to the high, which has been around $4.50 here in Maine. And so I don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. We can all have our theories. But the constant and this is the message for this video. I probably should have talked about this a little bit at the beginning. But the message of this video is, to the point that we don't know what's going to happen. We also don't know what will not happen. So therefore, with all of the data, all of the information out there, and if you use some facts and you use some logic, it definitely seems like we're heading in a not a very good direction. I think that is a reasonable assumption and a reasonable conclusion, that when we are looking at the rest of 2026 and even into 2027 and beyond, that we are heading towards some extremely difficult times. And if you're a subscriber, if you've watched some of my videos, well, you're probably saying, yeah, no kidding. We know that. And if you're not a subscriber or you haven't been watching my videos, maybe this is new to you. And that's one of the reasons I make these videos. So, just a few things that's on my mind. I will tell you that this weekend, some of the things that I'm working on, and I am going to video and share some of the efforts that we're doing. It's work on our small homestead in Maine, in central Maine. We live on 5 acres. Most of it's wooded. We're trying to expand our food production in our gardening area. Last year we got chickens. We were gonna do bees this year, and we have so many projects that we just haven't been able to do it. So I hate to put it off, but it looks like that's going to be a 2027 project, and hopefully I don't regret that. But it is what it is. That's the decision that's been made. You go, beyond that, as far as us goes, it's the expansion of the garden, food production. We do a lot of raised beds, a lot of container gardens. I'm going to be putting together a multitude of raised beds today, and over this weekend we're going to be doing a lot of moving of soil, planting all kinds of different crops in these raised beds, and just overall trying to increase our food production. We're also working on infrastructure. So, looking at our cabin, our property, are there issues, structural problems? And there are. We're going to be working on that over the next few weeks, and I'll share some of that. And like most of you, we work full-time, 40 hours a week, if not more. And I have quite a commute for my job. I drive over an hour to get to work. So that takes away from, a lot of productivity and time that I can get stuff done. So time management's pretty important. I had mentioned, there's a sense of urgency, and this weekend I already talked about the gardening, the food production, and I'm going to be going and stocking up on some different foods. This includes canned goods. We do not grow enough to sustain ourselves year-round. Maybe someday we'll get there. Right now, that's not the case. So it supplements, our nutritional needs. So we're going to take a trip into, some stores and stock up and look at our current inventory and fill some holes and just add more. And, in addition to that, which is going to be quite a bit, we're going to be having some conversations. This is important. If you have a partner, a husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, that is like-minded, sometimes you got to sit down and say, okay, this is where we're at from a preparedness perspective. And if something were to happen, and it's an if, and that if involves grid down, long-term grid down, because short-term grid down definitely presents some challenges, but nothing like long-term grid down, then, where are our shortfalls? Where do we need to improve? And have those discussions and then make a plan to make it happen. So that's something else to be done this weekend. And I just implore all of you to take a look at your own situation and just think about, if something were to happen, A lot of times I just say grid down, because that can encompass cyber attacks, EMP. There's all kinds of things that could cause that. And then when you have grid down, you end up with civil unrest at some point. And what that looks like, well, that's really going to vary depending upon your geography, your location, population density, and the makeup of that population. So there's no better time than right now to take a look at your preps, at your preparedness, your level of preparedness, and say, what can I do this weekend to generate some improvement? I mentioned we're on a budget, so I'm always looking for good deals on things. If I need lumber, if I need just different supplies, different pieces of equipment, I look to buy a good condition used and reap the benefits of lower costs. So anyways, I just thought I'd share a few things. There's still a lot of stories out there that are predicting, us running out of fuel around July 3rd. And who knows? It's interesting because the main guy that's pushing this narrative, I'm just curious if July 3rd comes and goes and it doesn't happen, what's he going to say? For something like an asteroid hits, well, it's easy to say, there was a slight miscalculation. He can say whatever he wants. This is a little different. And some of the predictions that I've seen are actually starting to come true, and it is concerning. The strategic fuel reserve is shrinking. And that was one of the things that was said, is that you're going to start seeing that reserve shrink because the government is going to continue to release more and more into the market to try to quell panic and anger over shortages and rising prices. And they're going to basically try to push it off. So we'll see. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this here. And I'm almost at one of my destinations. I'm going to stop, check out some gardening stuff. So I appreciate you stopping by. Hit that like button. It helps the channel. Comment, what are your thoughts? You still feeling that sense of urgency? And do you have certain goals for the next month, 90 days, 6 months, this year? What's your thoughts on that? Share this video on social media with people that are like-minded, may get something out of it. That really helps the channel. We're a very small channel, and anything that you guys can do will help the channel grow. We can work on getting the message out there. I got more homesteading videos coming up of us working on the property. I'm going to showcase some different properties that projects that we're doing, and that's it. So again, appreciate you guys stopping by. Stay safe, take care, and we'll see you next time.
So I ran from the cities and the noise and lies, found a piece of ground under open skies, hands in the dirt, sweat on my shirt, learning what living's really worth. While crooked men shake hands in rooms, selling souls to corporate suits. Society's sick, but I found the cure. A back road life, honest and pure. They can keep their throne and their golden news. This life out here's my modern exodus. I traded screens for a sunrise, calloused palms, blisters, pride, planted seeds where hope